Hold on to your seats because what we're about to dive into will leave your jaw on the floor. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' baby is missing, and it's not just a story, it's a full-blown mystery that's shaking the entire celebrity world to its core. Imagine waking up one morning only to find your child is gone without a trace. How does that even happen, and why does this whole situation feel so off? The police are on high alert, and the search is on, but what are they really finding? Is this just a case of a tragic misunderstanding, or is there something much more sinister lurking behind the scenes? With every new update, the situation becomes even more bizarre. How did this happen, and why is everyone so quick to point fingers at the couple? Are Chrissy and Jim hiding something, or is this all just one big tragic accident? You won't believe the shocking details we've uncovered. Stay tuned because we're about to unravel the web of secrets, lies, and conspiracy that no one saw coming. This isn't just about a missing child. It's about what's really going on behind closed doors. Buckle up, because this is about to get wild. The shockwaves were felt across social media, leaving fans, followers, and even the most dedicated critics scrambling for answers. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones, two of the most controversial figures in reality TV and hip-hop, have found themselves at the center of a chilling mystery. The couple, known for their turbulent relationship and larger-than-life personas, is now facing the unimaginable, the disappearance of their own baby. It's not just a case of a missing child. No, it's far more complex and, frankly, it reeks of something bigger lurking in the shadows. You might think, okay, this is a tragic event, but how is this connected to Chrissy and Jim's past? And that's where the plot thickens. Jim Jones, the notorious rapper, and his longtime partner Chrissy Lampkin, infamous for their on-and-off-again relationship and their antics on shows like Love and Hip Hop, have built a reputation that teeters on the edge of scandal. While many of their fans see them as a power couple in the entertainment industry, others have long suspected that there's far more to their story than meets the eye. Jim Jones, who's made headlines not just for his music but for his controversial actions and affiliations, has always been a figure of mystery. He's a man who's built an empire on secrecy, controversy, and a particular brand of charisma that seems to draw people in yet repel them just as quickly. Over the years, rumors have swirled about his ties to shady dealings, connections to underground networks, and his involvement in the notorious Dipset crew. Is he hiding something far darker? And more importantly, is his child a casualty of that very darkness? Then there's Chrissy, a woman who's no stranger to controversy herself. Her infamous on-screen outbursts, her sometimes volatile relationship with Jim, and her love-hate dynamic with the public have all added layers of complexity to her image. Yet underneath all the drama, Chrissy has always appeared to be a protective mother, fiercely loyal to her family. But how much do we really know about her? Could this mysterious disappearance reveal sides of her we've never seen? Could there be secrets she's hiding, or even worse, could she be complicit in something much more sinister than anyone could have imagined? Let's rewind the clock for a moment. When Chrissy and Jim first announced they were expecting, their fans were over the moon. The couple, known for their fiery relationship, had finally decided to take the next step. But even back then, whispers of trouble began to circulate. Jim's past behavior, his temper, and his ties to unsavory characters had some questioning whether this baby could grow up in a safe, loving environment. Could they handle the responsibility of being parents given their tumultuous history, or were they setting themselves and their newborn child up for a nightmare? And so the stage was set. But what really happened after the baby was born? There was a lot of media silence. No big celebrations, no grand social media posts, just crickets. Of course, rumors began to swirl once again. Was this a desperate attempt to keep things low-key for the sake of the baby, or was there something far more troubling at play? Then came the day of the disappearance. The baby, one moment in the arms of its parents, the next gone. But here's the twist. Things didn't seem to add up. Chrissy's public statement at first seemed calm, perhaps even a bit too calm. "We're just trying to process what happened," she said in a brief interview. But the lack of emotion, the strange body language, and the vagueness of her words set off red flags. Why wasn't she more upset? Where was Jim in all of this? Shouldn't he have been out there alongside his partner, tearing the city apart to find their child? At first, the police investigation seemed like any other. But that's when things started to get weird. Reports from anonymous sources began to leak. Sources that claimed to have inside knowledge of the couple's personal life. Leaked text messages, cryptic social media posts, and suspicious activity surrounding their home pointed to something much darker than a simple disappearance. Was it a kidnapping? Or was this something far worse? Now we're diving deeper into the unknown. What if there's more to this story than just a missing baby? Could there be a deeper conspiracy at play? Could this be some sort of twisted stunt for publicity? It sounds insane, but is it really out of the realm of possibility for a couple with this much baggage? As the investigation unfolded, a troubling trend began to emerge. Police discovered disturbing evidence suggesting that not everything was as it seemed. Strange financial transactions linked to both Chrissy and Jim began to surface, transactions that led straight to offshore accounts and businesses with questionable ties. Why would a couple like this, known for their lavish lifestyle, suddenly be dealing with accounts in the shadows? Could they be involved in some sort of illegal activity? And was the disappearance of their baby just a cover-up for something bigger? We're just scratching the surface here, but hold tight because this rabbit hole is getting deeper by the minute. In part 2, we're going to break down the public's reaction, dive into the fake investigative findings, and reveal what really happened behind closed doors. Stay with us. This is just the beginning. You won't want to miss the shocking details we have coming up next. As the investigation into the disappearance of Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones' baby continues, the public's reaction is growing more intense by the hour. Social media is in a frenzy. #FindTheBaby trending worldwide, conspiracy theories circulating faster than the police can provide answers, and public scrutiny of the couple's every move. But amidst all the chaos, one thing becomes painfully clear. This case is not just about a missing child. It's about something far darker, something that's been hiding in plain sight all along. At the center of the storm, Chrissy Lampkin has remained eerily silent. After her initial statement, strangely calm and detached, she disappeared from the public eye. Jim Jones, on the other hand, has been spotted at various locations. But here's the thing, none of them seem to make sense. Why was he at a private club hours after the baby was reported missing? Was he attending a business meeting, or was he just trying to lay low to avoid the media frenzy? Why wasn't he actively participating in the search for his child? These are the questions that have the public scratching their heads, wondering if the rapper has something to hide. Leaked reports have added fuel to the fire. Anonymous sources who claim to be close to the couple have come forward with shocking information that paints a much darker picture than anyone could have imagined. According to one source, just days before the baby went missing, Jim and Chrissy were involved in a heated argument. The source claims that the fight was so intense it nearly escalated into physical violence. Were tensions running high in the household, and could this have led to the baby's disappearance? Was this simply an unfortunate chain of events, or was there something more malicious at play? Meanwhile, another anonymous insider claims to have heard whispers about fraudulent business dealings connected to the couple. According to this source, both Chrissy and Jim had been involved in a series of shady transactions over the past few months, transactions that were intended to launder money through various businesses linked to their names. The sources went on to say that these deals were so convoluted and dangerous that it's no surprise the couple kept their lives under a veil of secrecy. Could these illegal dealings have escalated to the point where the baby's disappearance was merely collateral damage in a high-stakes game? The theory is wild, but in this case, it's not out of the question. What's even more unsettling is the fact that several of the couple's close associates have gone into hiding. Now, I know what you're thinking. People can go into hiding for a million reasons, but when you look closer, you start to see a pattern. Multiple individuals connected to Jim and Chrissy have suddenly disappeared, and authorities are struggling to track them down. Could this be part of a larger cover-up? Is someone trying to keep the truth from coming to light? Or perhaps they're just trying to protect themselves from being caught up in something far more sinister. As more reports emerge, the picture only gets murkier. It's not just about a missing baby anymore. It's about a web of lies, corruption, and dangerous secrets. One of the most disturbing reports that has surfaced involves the couple's luxurious lifestyle. According to an anonymous informant who claims to have worked with the couple on several occasions, Chrissy and Jim have been living well beyond their means, a lifestyle that has come at the cost of questionable financial practices. For years, they've been flaunting expensive cars, designer clothes, and lavish vacations. Yet, the truth behind their financial situation is far more complicated. The informant claims that Jim Jones has been involved in various money laundering schemes, using his fame and connections to hide illicit profits. And Chrissy, according to this same source, has been acting as a front for these operations, covering up for Jim's shady dealings while playing the part of a glamorous reality star. Could these criminal activities be linked to the disappearance of their baby? And if so, what lengths would they go to in order to protect their empire? Adding to the mystery are increasingly bizarre social media posts from both Chrissy and Jim in the days following the baby's disappearance. Chrissy shared an eerie Instagram post with a cryptic caption, "Sometimes the truth hurts more than the lies." Fans immediately began speculating. What did she mean by that? Was it a message directed at someone? Perhaps a hidden message about what had really happened? Or was it simply an attempt to throw off the authorities and distract from the investigation? Jim, on the other hand, posted a series of increasingly bizarre tweets, some hinting at things he wished he could unsee and undo, while others seemed to imply that there was more going on than anyone knew. His cryptic posts raised questions among his followers. Was he trying to make some sort of confession, or was he merely trying to create an air of confusion to throw off the public? But the most disturbing part of all, according to sources close to the investigation, there have been reports of strange, untraceable phone calls made from Jim's phone, all coming from burner numbers and disguised locations. Could he be in contact with someone who has critical information about the baby's disappearance? Or is he just trying to cover his tracks before the authorities can figure out what's really going on? Now, the public is demanding answers. The police have released very few details about the case, but what we do know is that their investigation is growing more intense by the day. A special task force has been assembled to comb through every aspect of Chrissy and Jim's life, from their finances to their personal relationships. But as the search for the missing child intensifies, the media is getting more aggressive, and the couple's world is starting to implode in real time. Could Chrissy and Jim's empire crumble under the weight of these allegations? Could the police be closing in on a much bigger scandal? And most importantly, where is their baby? The answers may be more shocking than anyone could have predicted. And as we continue to follow this unfolding drama, one thing is certain: there's a lot more at stake here than just the fate of one child. In Part 3, we'll dive deeper into the fallout from this case and explore the possible legal consequences that could rock Jim and Chrissy to their core. Will they face criminal charges? Will their wealth and influence protect them? Or will this case finally expose the truth behind their public personas? Stay tuned, because the final act of this scandal is just getting started. As the case of Chrissy and Jim Jones' missing baby continues to dominate headlines, the drama is far from over. The fallout from the disappearance is creating shockwaves not just through the media, but also through the lives of those who are closest to the couple. The more we learn, the more it becomes clear this is no ordinary case. We're talking about corruption, deceit, and a public relations nightmare that could destroy the lives of those involved. Let's talk about the legal consequences that are now closing in on Chrissy and Jim. As the investigation has deepened, it's become clear that this case is about much more than a missing child. It's about the criminal activities that have been quietly festering under the surface. Leaked documents suggest that multiple law enforcement agencies are now involved, coordinating their efforts to uncover the full scope of the couple's activities. The feds are reportedly looking into the possibility of child trafficking, money laundering, and more. Could Chrissy and Jim be facing serious charges? The answer is almost certainly yes. According to anonymous sources within the police department, a number of sealed indictments have already been prepared. These charges range from fraudulent financial dealings to conspiracy to obstruct justice. But the most shocking allegation is that they may be involved in the illegal adoption trade, using their connections to bypass the law and profit from their child's disappearance. This is a horrifying possibility that, if proven true, would bring criminal charges so severe that it would mark the end of their careers and their public image. And let's not forget the financial consequences of the scandal. The entire financial empire that Chrissy and Jim have carefully crafted over the years is now under intense scrutiny. Their business ventures, once seen as harmless or even glamorous, are now being investigated for potential ties to illicit money-making schemes. One of the most chilling reports to emerge is the claim that their real estate investments may have been used to launder money, funneling cash through multiple properties in a highly complex and illegal operation. Could this all come crumbling down? Yes, it absolutely could. With every new leak, every new piece of evidence, it looks more likely that Chrissy and Jim are facing the kind of fallout that could make their once thriving empire disappear in the blink of an eye. Will their wealth and status protect them? That remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the walls are closing in, and the public support for the couple is rapidly evaporating. Public backlash has been swift and unforgiving. Fans who once adored Chrissy and Jim are now turning their backs on them, some even calling for boycotts of their businesses and public appearances. The couple's carefully curated public image is in tatters, and the full extent of their alleged crimes is only beginning to come to light. Businesses and social media platforms, the once loyal followers who supported them through their ups and downs, are now questioning everything. How could they have kept such a dark secret for so long? How could they be involved in something so horrific? And let's talk about those so-called friends of Chrissy and Jim who have been absolutely silent in the wake of this scandal. Where are the celebrities who once praised them? Where are the influencers and business partners who swore they'd be there for them through thick and thin? It's almost like everyone's been avoiding them. Could it be that they're distancing themselves to avoid being caught up in this mess? Is the fear of their own reputation being tarnished so strong that they're leaving Chrissy and Jim to face the heat alone? Possible legal fallout. As public pressure mounts, we're starting to see potential resignations and withdrawals from sponsorships. Multiple brands that once collaborated with Chrissy and Jim have reportedly pulled out, cutting ties with the couple in the wake of the scandal. Major corporations, including luxury brands and lifestyle companies, are reassessing their partnerships and preparing to distance themselves from any further association. These companies don't want to risk their public image being ruined by a connection to this growing mess. What's even more unsettling is that investigators are starting to explore connections between Chrissy and Jim's finances and political figures who have long been suspected of corruption. Could we be looking at a government investigation that reaches higher than we ever expected? Could this case evolve into something that shakes the very foundations of power and wealth? As the investigation intensifies, there's talk of a special task force being formed specifically to probe the deeper connections between the couple's businesses and possible illegal dealings involving high-profile figures. If these leads prove true, the consequences could extend far beyond Jim and Chrissy. Could this scandal reach the highest echelons of power? Could this be the tip of an iceberg that's much, much bigger than we ever imagined? It's beginning to feel like this investigation will unravel a story that nobody saw coming. The fallout for Chrissy and Jim's family. With all eyes on them, the personal toll this scandal has taken on Chrissy and Jim's families is starting to show. Friends have described Chrissy as emotionally drained, unable to cope with the mounting pressure. Her public image, once so carefully created, is now in tatters. Meanwhile, Jim seems to be going through a transformation of his own, visibly shaken by the avalanche of accusations and media attention. The couple's family members have reportedly been begging them to come clean, urging them to tell the truth before it's too late. But the couple is not the only ones facing consequences. As the investigation heats up, it's becoming apparent that several of their associates